President Robert Mugabe's body is expected to arrive at his homestead in Kutama this morning. Mourners have gathered to pay tribute to Mugabe. His body was expected to arrive on Sunday, but this was postponed until today. On Saturday, Mugabe's state funeral was held at the National Sports Stadium in Harare. Mugabe's burial has been delayed by a month. He will be laid to rest at the National Heroes Acre Monument. Now, joining me via Skype is the new Zimbabwe online newspaper editor, that's Richard Chiza. Mr. Chiza, thank you very much for joining us this morning. So the former president at the weekend, as we heard from various people who were closest to him, that he died a tormented soul under self-imposed exile. That's according, of course, to those that were closest to him. What did ordinary Zimbabweans make of his final days, in your mind?
I think there is a mixture, like from the beginning when his death was announced on the 6th of September. Sorry, good morning, Corey, and thank you for having me. Like I was saying, it has been a mixture of emotions across Zimbabwe from the day the death of former President Mugabe was announced on the 6th of September. And it continues to this day. He continues to divide opinions across the length and breadth of the country. And even now that the family claims that he was a sad and broken man at the end, because probably of the coup. Because we're hearing now that former President Mugabe started having problems with his health 2 weeks after he was deposed from power. That's in November 2017. And it takes one back to Kamuzu Banda in the 90s when he was removed from power. He didn't even realize that he was out of power. And he still, reports claim Banda continued to say he was president of the country, and he's the guy who had removed him then. Was it Pakli Muluzi? He claimed Pakli Muluzi was chairman of the party in Malawi. Yeah. But so it takes you back to that Mugabe immediately had health problems just after he was removed from power. But a week or so before he was removed, he was all over the place. He was holding rallies and stuff like that. So it's one of those things. I also think that there is a lot of politicking around the family. There are lots of divisions there. And the fact that his body was not taken to Kutama as had been expected yesterday was because of simmering tensions within the family. Grace has never been, that's former First Lady Grace, has never been a rural person. She has from what we gather, she has never been happy to be in Kutama in Zimbabwe.
Let me ask you this question, Mr. Chiza.
Yeah.
The funeral service itself, well attended by sitting heads of state on the continent, and those, of course, who have since retired. But the attendance by ordinary people at the stadium told a completely different story. What does that tell us about ordinary Zimbabweans and what they felt about Mugabe in his last years?
It is a fact that most Zimbabweans believe that Mugabe is the source of their problems. The problems that we have now, even the kind of leadership that Zimbabwe has now, has to do with Mugabe staying in power for far too long than he was supposed to. If Mugabe had planned well, if he had groomed a successor in the early 80s and probably left power either in 1990 or in 1995, thereabout, Zimbabwe had enough intellectuals, had enough in terms of good leadership within ZANU, within other political parties, and even generally within the country. You can go back to Simba Makoni, then SADC Secretary General, intelligent man, seen as one of the future leaders of the country, but swept by the wayside in the ZANU dirty politics. You have lots of these guys, some of them who died in very mysterious circumstances as Mugabe sought to cling to power. And that he remained in power for 37 years has to do with the problems that Zimbabweans have. And that's why, in my view, that they snapped the event, the state funeral.
Mr. Chiza, I thank you very much for your insights. That was